Cameras are getting really sharp. Although I love the look of my new Sony FX6, I'm still always looking for a more cinematic, filmic look that I could get from the camera. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about an inexpensive filter that could help give you a more filmic, cinematic look from any camera that you're using. There's something really pure and unfiltered about the film look that I've always loved. I recently watched Interstellar, and when I was watching it, I was like, this was definitely shot on film. Looked it up, and of course it was. It was so unpure and grainy and soft in all of the best possible ways. I really, really loved it, and I want to start replicating something a little bit more like that. Although we can't perfectly replicate this film look on our digital cameras, we can try and get it a little bit closer by emulating some of the different features that film produces. One way of doing this is diffusion filters. There's a bunch of mist type filters on the market today, but the gold standard has always been the Tiffen Pro Mist filter. I've been using a Tiffen 1/8 Pro Mist filter for about the last year, and I swear I have like barely taken it off my camera. In fact, the only time I've taken it off my camera is when I had to put a variable ND on my Sony a7R Mark III because it gave it a really weird look. They didn't kind of work together because of the filter sizes and stuff. I wanted to make sure that I had a camera with VNDs built in, like my electronic VND in my Sony FX6. Because of this, I really wanted a cinema camera that had a built-in variable neutral density filter like the electronic one in my Sony FX6, so I didn't have this problem anymore. Now, you can buy VND filters that actually have mist in them, such as Peter McKinnon's filter, and I'm sure there's a few others, but I really was sick of using variable neutral density filters. It's gonna be really hard to go back after using this camera. So what do these filters do, and how do they enhance our image, make it a little bit more soft and cinematic? Well, for one, they bloom highlights, which is just a really cool effect. As you can see, the light in the back has a little bit of a kind of soft, diffusing bloom to it. They also make contrast a little bit more, and then the imperfections and your kind of skin tones just a bit more soft. They do this by, I'm honestly not exactly sure how it works. I know there's little black specks that I think help diffuse some of the light going into the sensor, so it gives it kind of that bloomy look. And then you could buy filters with more diffusion built into them, like a 1/4 or I think a half, whatever it is. I wouldn't go over 1/8 if you don't need to. I think this is the perfect amount without making it look too dreamy. Now, there's a bunch of different diffusion filters on the market today. I'm not here to do a review on all of them and tell you what one to pick, but I will tell you that the Tiffen one has been amazing, and I have absolutely no problems, and I know it was, if not the only one, but the most popular for the longest time. Moment has their Cine Bloom line, which seems really good. I've seen good reviews comparing it to the Tiffen. Like I said, Peter McKinnon has the VND with mist. I've heard good things about that as well, and I'm sure there's a few others that I just don't know about. The one thing that I would say is, as I'm repeating it, don't go over 1/8 if you don't need to, unless you're really trying to create some type of dreamlike look in a sequence. Then I think it'd be a great idea to go way over that, and it would make that effect look awesome. But for every just normal, day shooting, all the stuff that you're gonna do, stuff like this, commercial stuff, 1/8 is like just the perfect amount in my opinion. So when you go about buying your mist filter, the only other recommendation I would give you is to get the largest size filter thread for your largest size lens. So for me, that's 67 millimeters. And what I do is I put step-up rings on all of my other lenses to 67 millimeters. I put step-up rings to that on all my other lenses, and then I just bought 67 millimeter lens caps, so they all just kind of work together. And then if I bought another lens with a wider filter size, I would probably just buy another mist thing and do the exact same all over again, or just have two mist rings. It doesn't really matter, but that would be my recommendation, unless you have the money to just, buy one for every single lens that you have, which would be pretty awesome, honestly. Now I'm just gonna go over a couple examples of with and without the diffusion filter to kind of give you an idea of how it's gonna look and how it's gonna change your footage. I'm shooting everything on my Sony FX6 in Cine EI mode, shooting S-Log3, S-Gamut3.Cine, and I'm using Phantom LUTs, the ARRI Phantom LUTs, to grade everything because they're amazing. And I did a whole video on that if you're interested in listening to that. You don't need my camera to use this filter. It's gonna work on any camera that you have amazingly, and it's gonna improve the image of that camera in my opinion, because I like the look of it. But if you don't like the look of it, that's an artistic preference as well. You don't have to like the look of it. It's up to you. I also just wanted to say thank you to everybody that subscribed to the channel over the last, I don't know, month. I've had quite a bit of growth compared to the last 6 months of this channel. I am absolutely amazed. Almost at 1,000 subscribers as I'm recording this. And it's just pretty awesome to see growth and to see, you know, hard work putting into these videos actually paying off and seeing it's helping people. So I love that. If you're not subscribed to the channel, which you probably aren't because most people aren't subscribed. I think only 98% of people that watch these videos are subscribed. Subscribe, and I will try not to let you down. Also, if you like the video, give it a like. If you dislike it, give it a dislike. I like the feedback, so I really appreciate that. If you have any questions about any of this stuff, leave it in the comments down below. I love helping out, and if you want to DM me on Instagram, I will leave that below as well. If you have any questions about these filters, etc. But I appreciate you watching the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.